Hi, my name is Christine Shaughnessy Cooper with soulconnections.org, and the question is about what my thoughts are on entities and attachments. This really has been a very hot topic over the last couple of years, and it's only continuing to grow with very strong feelings on both ends of the spectrum. Of course, in a world where everyone creates their own realities based upon their own unique experiences and beliefs, this is not only not a surprise, but it's to be expected. And in this sense, all opinions on the topic are in fact correct for the individual. With that being said, and as a quantum healing practitioner, my personal beliefs really don't matter when I'm working with my clients. Only their beliefs and reality matter at that time. Now, I personally do not align with any belief that is grounded in fear. And as it is, that's exactly what I feel that this subject is founded upon. When entities or attachments are discussed, immediately an image of something sinister and separate and outside of ourselves comes to mind, which is, well, terrifying. Naturally, people feel utterly disempowered against something like this. They're asking themselves, how do I know if I have one? What does it look like? How do I get rid of it? And even if it is released, how do you know if and when it's not going to come around the next day? So there's just a lot of helplessness and self-doubt and fear that grows out of this subject. The problem with this is that when a belief is rooted in fear, it doesn't allow the person to become the whole and healthy person that they're trying to achieve. So for me personally, this is very counterintuitive because the passion within me in my wanting to work with people is to help them reclaim their power. So fear only perpetuates more fear. In some cases, a person can be filled with such a high level of fear that through their creative abilities, they can actually manifest a personality for their entity. And this is especially terrifying. The other consequence to this type of belief that I see often is when someone perceives an action or an emotion as being off or it's not in alignment with their preferred state of being, they'll often blame it as being the fault of some entity, something outside of themselves, something that they have no control over, which is really just taking on the role of being a victim with a lack of self-responsibility. What I personally believe is that these things are merely shadows of our own selves, also called pain bodies. They're those unrecognized and ignored aspects and fragments of our own shadows, an expression of our own consciousness. Everything is, after all, consciousness. And so these things are the results of traumas, pain, and lesser than desired emotions that have been ignored and kept from the light for so long, sometimes over the course of many lifetimes, that we tend to split off or detach from them in order to feel safe. As such, there's really nothing out there trying to get you, but instead, they will bubble up to the surface simply to be recognized and acknowledged as a layer of unresolved emotions that have yet to be integrated. They actually have much to teach you if you're willing to sit with them and understand them as they really are. You can see that with this approach, the client is no longer a victim, but is instead a liberator. I find it interesting that while there are many entity stories out there, there are even more where entities are never, ever mentioned. Dolores Cannon herself, who after thousands of cases never once came across anything like the entities that are being described today. What she did come across frequently, and what we still see frequently, are clients with layers of unresolved emotions that have been buried for a very, very long time. So in the end, everything is the creation of the divine. And so no matter what the subject matter is, I just don't believe that we'll be able to see the entirety of the truth unless we're able to look at it through the eyes of love. And it's in this way that everything becomes much more easy to navigate. So with that being said, I'd like to wish Dolores a very happy birthday and a great big thank you from me and everyone else who she taught so many things to.